And the important thing is to understand embryology. And the embryology of the brain doesn't stop until somewhere between 65 and 80. And the men in my study at 95 like being 95. They enjoy life, and cognitively, the top half haven't changed very much since they were 80. Now, this doesn't mean that your memory doesn't start going to hell in a handcar at 30. And just to cement the tie of Marty Seligman to positive psychology and taking this idea of being hopeful about the world and to make it different from all of the salesmen that give you supplements to your diet that isn't nearly as important as to be able to metabolize love is my favorite bumper sticker, which is happiness is drive reduction. Joy is connection. Okay, so let me begin my story. That when William Grant gave Harvard the money and I began working on the study, the conventional wisdom was that by William James, famous American psychologist, that after 30 you're set in plaster. Adult development stops. And it was, Erickson had a clue, but Erickson did his research from an armchair. And the nice thing was the Grant study was carried out watching grown-ups grow up in real time. And the basic finding was that people continue developing all of their life. And at the key of this wasn't cholesterol, which didn't predict anything. And it wasn't longevity of your ancestors, which the Grant study has probably the best data on of any longevity study in the world. And it wasn't exercise. What was important was the lovely introduction you saw to the study, was the depth of human relationships. So that whether you were a poor scholarship boy or your parents were like John Kennedy's millionaires during the Great Depression, made no difference in your income when you were 80. But being empathic and being loved made all the difference in the world and basically doubled your income.
Just based on your own experience, what was the kind of the takeaways, the three most important takeaways you took after all those years? So I'm sorry because unfortunately you're not
let me just do the last slide. And this one was what he wrote to his 50th college reunion. Before there were dysfunctional families, I came from one. The truly gratifying unfolding has been into the person I've slowly become, comfortable, joyful, connected, and effective. No mention of happiness there. That children's classic, The Velveteen Rabbit tells how connection is something we must let happen to us, and then we become solid and whole. As that tale recounts tenderly, only love can make us real. Denied this in boyhood for reasons I now understand. It took years to tap substitute sources. What seems marvelous is how many there are and how restorative they prove. Thank you, and forgive me for being long-winded.